Hello, my name is Sabrina Naqvi, and I'm a Senior Product Manager on the Experimentation and Personalization team at Loblaw Digital. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a real-life challenge we faced at Loblaw Digital and how we are addressing it. First, we're going to cover the agenda. We cover why testing matters, expanding experimentation at Loblaw Digital, the benefits of a self-serve model, key elements to making self-serve work, the risks associated with this structure and how to mitigate them. Also, we share a real-life example of how we are scaling growth. Now, let's cover why testing matters. First, experimentation allows us to learn about the relationship between factors or variables. The goal is to learn. Successful experimentation can lead to an increase in revenue, but we should not be tied to the results of a test and expect that it will increase revenue. Many experiments do not succeed, but we can take the failures as opportunities to learn and retest before we scale. This makes testing ideas early a great opportunity. It can save time and money and prevent potential negative business impacts. With that in mind, we collect evidence to support decisions. So basically, we base decisions on evidence and not opinions. Then we measure the impact of work. We will know if a feature has a positive, negative, or no impact. For product managers, a lot of time that is enough validation for us to move forward with. For example, if it's a planned feature rollout, we want to ensure that we are not harming the customer experience or key KPIs before rolling out. So in that sense, experimentation can shorten the time to market. Experimentation can also help prioritize projects. If experiments show a lift, it can help product managers or marketing teams add greater value and greater work effort to that feature, knowing that it will make a positive impact. The visual on the side is the typical experimentation process, which we also follow. First, we define the problem and ideal solution by exploring data and identifying important questions. We build a hypothesis and define decision criteria. We set up experiences by using tools like Adobe Target. We QA the activity, launch the experiment, and collect data. Then we document, evaluate, and summarize the performance of experiments in a consistent manner, sharing results with stakeholders and identifying new opportunities. We roll out winning experiences to 100% of the target audiences and feed results back into planning of new experiments, building a backlog for prioritization. Now, let's focus on expanding experimentation at Loblaw Digital. So at Loblaw Digital, we faced the following problems. Our experimentation and personalization team could not keep up with the growing demand. Since 2019, Loblaw Digital has grown approximately 3 times. Our E&P team supports 60+ experimenters across 5+ lines of businesses, including web, app, and offline. Our team is involved with consulting, execution, and analysis of tests. And our volume of experiments was growing. In 2021, we launched over 1,000 tests. Despite this growth, the E&P team remained at 2 full-time PMs. So our solution was to first scale growth by enabling a self-serve testing program by teaching experimenters to design, set up, and run their own experiments, including analysis. That way, our E&P team will maximize impact by owning its own testing roadmap for learnings related to cross-functional initiatives and large investments. There are several benefits of a self-serve model. First, it removes bottlenecks for experimenting. Testing, setup, and analysis is not dependent on a single team. It allows teams to own their own experimentation agenda. It also frees up capacity. Our experimentation COE can drive their own learnings and offer structured support and upskilling for our internal teams. We can increase the volume of experiments. Experimentation becomes ingrained in our culture. It informs key investments and mitigates losses. Since the volume of PMs and stakeholders outnumbers the experimentation team, we can continue to support PMs and stakeholders at scale. And then it upskills our teams. Strong PMs need to be familiar with experimentation design and KPI measurement. It ensures a baseline of knowledge for all teams across the organization. And we support KPI measurement at early stages. Here are some key elements to making self-serve work. First, we get alignment from senior leadership to set the tone for the organization and create a shared mission. Then we focus on execution. We set up teams for success by creating workshops, training courses, and demos to increase adoption and reach goals. Then we set accountability. We activate teams to ensure they are actioning learnings and continuing to experiment at a steady pace. And then we iterate. We dedicate internal consultants, gather feedback, and share learnings to improve processes and support. There are always risks associated with any change in the ways we work. However, we are aiming to mitigate any potential risks in a few different ways and ensure that the rewards actually outweigh the risks. So by taking these actions, we see positive outcomes for LD. So one risk could be an impact to our testing velocity. However, teams that do test get greater impact and visibility. Also, there could be misguided test design or hypotheses. For that, we are creating mandatory and ongoing training courses for PMs to stay up to date with their skills. Additionally, there could be misinterpretation of data. So along with continuous training, we are looking to automate tools for calculation so it makes it faster and easier to interpret it. Overall, the positive outcome for all of this is the beneficial business impact and culture of testing that we are creating. Now, let's talk about a real-life example of how we have scaled growth at Loblaw Digital. For example, in 2021, we had 2 full-time PMs and 1 co-op. The support we provided was executional in nature, i.e. setup and analysis of tests. There was some limited training and documentation shared. Our testing velocity focused on a few key stakeholders. In the first half of 2022, we continued to execute on tests. However, we embedded into the growth product team to think of ways to support more acquisition and retention-focused tests. Overall, we expanded our testing velocity and support. Now, in the remainder of 2022, we are planning to scale self-serve by upskilling our team, remaining embedded into the growth pods. And we are leveraging internal resources for setup, analysis, and shared learnings to speed up the process of experimentation. That way, we will continue to increase our testing velocity. It also allows the experimentation team to drive cross-functional learnings and inform large investments in partnerships with stakeholders across the organization. And I'm looking forward to expanding even further in 2023. Once again, my name is Sabrina Naqvi, and I'm a Senior Product Manager on the Experimentation and Personalization team at Loblaw Digital. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or via Gmail. Thank you for your time.